For this project, I'm going to be making a drawing in the style of Roy Lichtenstein, which is in the style of a comic book. I am writing the word pop as my primary focal point. Of course, you can have any focal point you would like, whether it's the word pop or crash, bang, boom, or it doesn't even have to be a word. If you wanted to have a cartoony figure or a drawing, an icon as your primary focal point, that's okay. I made layers of jagged shapes around that to create that sense of movement and action. And then I drew a drop shadow around my letters. I made sort of a smaller version of the shape just sort of along the left and bottom edge of each of those letters. Now, as I color, I'm choosing to use markers to get bright, bold, but also flat and consistent colors that are all sort of the same hue, the same intensity. And I am right now using I'm using dots to mimic the style of Ben-Day dots, which is sort of a printmaking method. You can think of the dots in Ben-Day dots like pixels in an image. It is a repetition of those dots that makes up the color, and the more dots there are, the closer together, the more of the white of the paper is covered up, so the color looks brighter and bolder. You can optically mix colors. It's sort of like a printmaking version of pointillism. Of course, dots are not the only method you could use. You can use line designs, patterns, but the idea is like I said, I wanted to keep bright, bold, but flat colors that are all the same intensity, the same hue. That's why I chose to use markers. Of course, you could do this with other media as well. Now, I'm trying to, while I want the colors to be flat, I want a little sense of action and bursting and movement in this composition. So my shapes are sort of layered on top of each other. The word pop is breaking out of the shape that's behind it. It's covering up just a little bit. I do have my shapes overlapping a little bit to create a little sense of depth, even though for the most part the methods that I'm using to color are somewhat flat. Now, for your project, what I want you to do is start off with a primary focal point, whether that's going to be a word like pop or boom or bang, or you could have a cartoonish image like, Mario bursting out of the background. Then what I want you to do is surround it with sort of jagged shapes, lots of angles to create that sense of movement and action and that bursting effect. And after that, you're going to color using patterns, dots and line designs, bright, bold colors in that graphic pop art style, bright, bold, and generally flat colors, ideally, consistent, intense hue in your work.